Hello, welcome back to the Tableau training session. Today we'll be working on still creating charts with Tableau but practice with a new type of chart. So let's just directly get started. As a recall, you search Tableau Public on your browser and click on the first thing appeared. And down here, if you are not logged in, remember your account and password and click login. So this time, open up the second link on your Google Sheet and copy it to your browser, and you should be able to see a new data set that shows the crime, that shows the type of crime, how many times this specific type of crime is being reported for this specific year, and the data set was downloaded directly from Atlanta Police Department. So similar as what we did last time, let's first download the dataset, save it as an Excel, and name it as crime rate practice. And it should be saved on your local file. And let's go back to Tableau, click Create Web Authoring, and upload the dataset back to Tableau. And give it a little bit of time. You should be able to see that the data set is already loaded in with each columns here and the data set here. And remember to save the data set as publish as. And we can name it as crime rate practice. Okay, so this means this workbook is already saved. So we know that the goal of today's session is to create a pie chart, and pie chart is very efficient to answer a composition type of big idea question. So you can also start with prompting your student what kind of question they would like to answer with this data set. And one example question can be, what was the breakdown of different crime types in Atlanta? And in order to answer this question, you can start with a sketch on your whiteboard or on the piece of paper, showing that for a pie chart to answer this question, probably each color will represent the type of crime, and the size or the angle of this pie chart of each slice of the pie chart should represent the actual report number of cases for this specific crime, right? Okay, so today in our Tableau session, we will be able to see how to create a pie chart with Tableau following the procedure we just talked about. So first of all, down marks type, change automatic to pie. And it gives you a new marks channels down here for an angle. So we just mentioned that to create a pie chart, first of all, we need to assign type of crime to color. So simply drag it and drop it on color. And from here, you already see that the label is telling you that each color is used in this pie chart to represent each type of crime. And also this bar right now looks very small. We can adjust the size to fit the entire view. And the second step, which is also very important for a pie chart, is to connect the numerical variable, which is reported case here in our data set, to angle. So we drag reported to angle, and we see that each slice proportion is already changed according to the actual reported case of this crime. And then this chart actually already helped us to answer that to figure out the breakdown of different crime types in Atlanta. So we can change the title of this chart to the question we want to ask, and then You can also change the font size down here and the font size and whether it's bolded or not, and click save. And you see the title is already changed to our big question. Okay, so we actually already almost figured this out, but we see that in the data set, it's actually showing up 2 different years data. So how can we leverage that part of information? One thing we can do is to see whether there is any difference for the 2 different year, right? And the way we can do this is to drag year to column. It will separate the chart into two, and down here you see that the first chart is indicating the composition of 2022, and the second chart is indicating the composition of 2023. And you can also adjust the size of the pie to make it easier to look. Okay, and another way to make it easier for the audience to read is to add some label onto it to make it more obvious about what the size of the part representing. So we can drag the reported to label, and also type of crime to label. So here it will shows for this specific crime type how many times this type of crime was reported in 2022 and in 2023. Okay, so here now the label is showing the actual total reported case number. But what if we know that pie chart is also showing the percentage of the specific crime to the whole? And what if I also want this information here to show as the percentage of the crime crime to the whole instead of the actual number? And here it will show an advanced feature that Tableau can do to add to change the number from the actual number to the percentage. And the way we can do this is to go to analysis and create a new calculation field. And down here we can name it to a new variable name called percentage. And here you need to type in the formula for you, or the equation for you to actually create this variable, similar to how Excel works by by adding a equation to create a new variable. So what we want it to show here is this specific type of crimes case divided by the total crime case reported in this whole year. So representing this information in Tableau, we can use this formula down here, which is the sum of reported for the specific crime divided by, for a specific year, the total sum of the crime. So we copy this equation that I put also in the comment and save it. And down here, you see that a new variables appear. And to see how it looks, we can remove the current label and drag the new variable on top of label. And down here, you see that it's changed now to the new calculated variable, which indicates how much percentage this specific type of crime takes for the whole part of the year. But now it's showing in a decimal format. What if I want to show it also in the percentage format? So to do this, we click this little triangle, and okay, so to do this, we click this little triangle here and change the default properties, go to number format, and from here change from automatic to percentage. And you can also select how many decimal places you want it to be. and I'll just keep 2 and close it. And now the information shows up here is the percentage of this specific type of crime shows up in the percentage format. For instance, it means that motor vehicle theft in 2022 takes up around 10% of the total crime. However, when it goes to 2023, it takes up to 11.7% of the total crime, showing a growing trend. So that's almost everything I would like to show with Tableau. We've explored how Tableau can be used to create a pie chart, how to separate one pie chart into 2 pie charts, and also how to create a calculation field to as a new variable to show more features of your data set. And I think the calculation data field is a little bit advanced feature that depending on the level of your students, you might decide whether to include it or not. But for the other features that those are important features you need to remind your students to use to create an easy to read pie chart. So after your students think they're all set with this current chart, remember to remind them that they need to publish it to save the progress, so that they can go back to this chart, or so they can go back to their chart in the future if they want to re-edit it or simply capture a screenshot. So that's it for our Tableau training, and I hope you enjoy the software and has a great lesson. Thank you.